That again. All right, here we go. I think we are now. Okay, great. Amazing. Okay, good. Your channel. Let me just check. Okay, we are streaming to YouTube as well, are we? Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. That's amazing. Give me 1 second. All right, cool. Amazing. Chica, good evening, buddy. How's life? Yeah, let me just get started here. Give me a minute or two. Wait a minute, I have a private message from someone. Channel, Twitch alerts. Bought up. You can, yeah. You can stream to multiple, yeah. You can't stream if you're a partner. I think you can't do that if you're a partner. Good evening, Mike, my friend. How's life? How is life? All right, cool. Well, I almost didn't make it today as well. I'm tired like hell, but I figured, all right, I promised 2 days in a row. So I just showed up basically. Good, man, good. Just a lot of work at work. So I haven't really been streaming past 2 days. Just a lot of crap at work to do. Score has no reviews. What the fuck is this? Okay. It's API. Yeah. Are you going to include encryption too? I'm not sure what you mean by encryption. Encryption where? Passwords are encrypted. I'm not quite sure what do you mean. All the passwords that are stored are encrypted. Of course, by default. Yeah, all right. So that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look at the backlog. Let's see what we could do something, hopefully today, something useful. And let's take a look at the Grafana very quickly. Let's see, is there anything out of ordinary here? Let's take a look at the logs. Last 12 hours, let's see that. No, last 24 hours. Okay, good. Okay, that's good. Let's go to nodejs. Let's take a look. Was there anything out of ordinary here? Nukes, good evening, buddy. Yeah, so that's fine. That's cool. Any memory leaks or stuff? Nah. There was one memory spike here. But I don't know what this was. It's hard to decipher from this dashboard. Okay, great. And let's take a look at Postgres quickly, and then let's start coding something. Average memory usage. Yeah, nothing basically, pretty much. And let's go to the node exporter here. So CPU, memory, partition use, read disk write, fine. $17.4 gigabytes. That's interesting. How the hell are we using 17.4 gigabytes for what? All right, we'll need to investigate that. Traffic per hour. Okay, that's normal. CPU basis. Yeah, that's also normal. System load, none basically. Yeah, okay, good. So not much really. A power open. Okay, that's fine. All right, cool. And where did we stop with courses last time when I streamed? So we just generated a bunch of this dummy data. Yeah. Then we have this here. Yeah, and then this kind of sucks. So let's do something, right? Let's start somewhere and then see where this evening takes us. I don't work tomorrow and after tomorrow, so I might do. Well, let's see how it goes. Might be a short one, might be a long one, depending how we feel. All right, so let's get rid of this crap. Actually, I don't dislike that terribly at all. Let's just see something like this. Yeah, I actually don't. It's not disgusting. I think it's not disgusting at all. Yeah, actually, that was better. Oops, what the fuck is happening? All right, cool. So yeah, so that's not disgusting at all. Let's do something like this, maybe. And what is this size? What is this width? Section title. Cassie, my friend, good evening. How is life? Can I show how I encrypt passwords? It's very simple, just using bcrypt. Here it is. There you go. That's all you need to encrypt a password. And then you obviously need to import appropriate stuff. So there you go as well. And that should be it. That should be it. You're a great engineer, and said, thank you very much, man, for the. I mean, I'm up for suggestions, man. You know, I'm very kind of. I don't know how I would say it. I wouldn't say boring, but I'm kind of old-fashioned in a way. Like I don't watch those things myself, right? So I don't know how to do that, like what to focus on, if you know what I mean, etc. Right? But I mean, I know that you're right. I mean, it would be useful also for this channel and stuff to get more people, I must admit, right? So actually, that would be great. It's just you know, it's kind of, everything takes time, right? Everything takes time. You know, I would need to kind of watch through those VODs that I record, you know, break them out. And really, this is the only time I have, is this time when I'm streaming, right? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it would be great. Agreed. Like if you guys would sometimes create some of those clips, if you're watching, that would help a lot, because this is really all the time I have free is this stream, right? So because everything else I would have to kind of open those videos, go through them, or I just need to get in a habit of putting some timestamps, right? And stuff like that, right? So no, I mean, I can't afford that right now. I mean, dude, I'm just another random dude streaming, right? I'm nobody, right? I'm not like this Vim guy or Asmongold or something, right? So it's like way too premature to do that, right? I mean, you know, I'm not a streamer. I mean, this is just, I do this for fun, right? So I mean, you know, thing is, I mean, like, you know, in order, you know, to do any of that, right, people need to subscribe, right? I mean, I have like, I don't know, not even 30 people subscribed, right? So to kind of fund all of that stuff, the thing is, the irony of streaming, right, is that Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, if community would do it, right? Because I mean, you need to. The thing is, when people subscribe, they help themselves as well, right? But people don't, and I mean, more power to them. They shouldn't. But the point is, if you don't subscribe, then the content creator you're following, he or she, they can't produce maybe something that they otherwise could have, right? That's the whole point of this chip in small, like, you know, 100 people subscribe for $5 a month, that's already something meaningful. When 1,000 subscribe, then a person, you know, can do it full time. But you know, it's just how it is, right? So that's the nature of it, right? Actually, I dislike this crap a lot. So that's just how it works, right? That's why I say this platform is useless from the financial perspective, right? Because it's a huge waste of time. Huge waste of time, right? You need a ratio of like, I don't know, 100,000 followers or like 300,000 to make any meaningful money, you know, to even treat this seriously, right? Actually, yeah, let's keep it maybe. But that's how it is. But I'll think about it. I'll try to figure something out, try some AI tool or something that can help me, you know, in doing that initially, right? Because everything takes time, you know. Sitting down, breaking those videos into smaller videos, uploading them and stuff, you know, sounds silly, right? But it takes time. Everything takes time. That's the issue with it, right? I wonder if we need this crap or if we don't. If not, actually, yeah, maybe not. Okay, that's actually not disgusting at all, I think. Let's just keep things simple as we always do. And actually, just one thing that we kind of broke, I think, is that why is this expanded? So why is this section by default not expanded? Let's take a look. Expanded sections. Yeah, that's super awkward. So include section ID. Yes, that's correct. Nice. Nice, dude. Nice. Nice, man. Very nice. Good. I'm happy for you. Good. I mean, that's the whole beauty of this industry, right? Trying something new, right? And growing and stuff like that, right? It's really about just adopting tools which are maybe slightly better. And when I say better, I mean just easier to use, right? So absolutely, that's great, man. Good to hear. Tailwind is amazing. You know, it is really a great thing that happened to CSS, in my opinion. Okay, so why is this not actually doing anything? Let's take a look. Ah, shit. Yeah, that sucks. We can't do that here, obviously, right? Panic section, some section ID. Yeah, that's obviously this is not gonna do what I want. I just want to check. So yeah, so now it's expanding. Yeah. Yeah, everything is compatible. Yeah, it's not, JavaScript is not Python, right? There has never been a release where things were backwards, or they were not backwards compatible, right? The way that JavaScript evolved, right, is that maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago, yes, indeed, some of the JavaScript features were actually pretty terrible, right? But for each one of those, they have released a feature that's actually not terrible, right? So yes, if you would go back and look at some of those things, you would say, oh my God, this is horrible, right? This doesn't even work, and that's true. But to their defense, right, they have released the features to basically, you know, when you're starting new, you use those features and not right. But yeah, nothing is, I don't really use anything, right? I just work, I just build things. I work, you know, full time now for 15 years, so I don't really follow any trends. I don't care about trends. I just work, and naturally, as you work, you kind of use tools for work, right? So that's, I mean, generally it's work driven, right? As I have new things to do at work or build, you know, that's how I also find things that I need, right? So in a way, that's how, right? I don't really use anything. I used to read this. Actually, maybe sometimes if I memorize, right? I go here. Sometimes I go here because, why do I go here, you might wonder? Well, I go here because I skim through this in literally 20 seconds, right? And also I'm very active here in Copenhagen in ecosystem community, in meetup community. I go to meetups, I go to gatherings, I go to conferences, right? So I like to do it in the person. I like to meet people, right? But this is an interesting resource. This is an interesting concept because, yeah, I just skim through this, like literally, I don't know, 1 minute. I see like Next.js released, I don't give a shit, right? Svelte is converting from TypeScript, I don't care, right? New array copying methods. Okay, I actually care about this. I'm interested into native language specification, right? Great. Private class fields considered harmful. Also interested. I'm done with React. I don't give a shit. Constraining language runtimes with the deterministic execution. Sure. Yeah. Running JavaScript in Rust with Dino. I don't give a crap. Regular expressions JavaScript. I don't care, right? How to measure page loading with time. Yeah, I know this a bit, but sounds interesting. How to build a JS. I don't care. An introduction to run. I don't care. State of Java ecosystem. Oh my God, I don't care. You get what I mean? So I go like this. I see maybe some file type, detect the file type of buffer. Yeah, somehow interesting. Yeah. Learn how rising training respects. I don't care. Build reactive HTML apps with Go, and oh my God, I don't care. A developer friendly MIDI library. Okay, maybe. Fast and forgiving. No. Library to convert cron expert. No. You find useful files. No. No. Don't. No. Right. So there you go, and then yeah, then I would read those articles like, okay, introduce new array copying methods to JavaScript. This is super big, right? Like this is something we use every day, right? Like we copy arrays, you know, we don't mutate things. So let's see, what is this? This is not new, man. What are you talking about? Okay, I see. That's where the new methods come in for each of to sort, to reverse, to splice, and with copy of the original, or you change the copy. Okay, that's useful, right? For sure, we're gonna be using this, right? Right. So that's great. That's good, right? They're not mutating the original arrays, but of course that's expected. That's how 99% of the things. But yeah, and then you go to something else. Private class fields considered harmful. Probably we should care about this because you do use private members sometimes, right? And maybe I would read this stuff, right? Also interesting, just an advert. Yeah, this is also, I think, pretty useful, right? So that's how I kind of go through things, right? Okay. Speaking of trends in tech, I'm a big supporter of VSL, but until someone shows the benefit, this stream is a clear benefit, right, Chica, right? I don't think that, I think you're looking at it maybe from a different perspective. Of course that VSL is not better than running something natively. That would be silly to say, right? But you can see that I can use this microphone, those lights, this camera, all of this equipment that I couldn't run on Linux, for example. I run it on Windows, but I run all of my services here. Not to mention that I can really use this computer for many other things, like playing video games if I wish, or anything else. And have access to all the software made for Windows that you can't find for Linux for the most part. So there are many reasons, right? Like, I think this is one of the best possible combinations you can get out of the operating systems today. You can technically, if you have a desktop computer like me here in this remote office, you can get the best of all worlds. You can run all of your services in Linux environment. You can have video games if you wish. You can install all the software, right? Because let's face it, right? No matter what you think of Unix in general, right? When it comes to support of software and stuff, it still sucks ass big time, right? And it always will, right? Because no company is ever going to build software for an operating system that has a market share of like 2%, right? It's simply not business-wise. It's an idiotic decision. It's like, why is nobody building, software for Linux? Because nobody uses Linux, right? It was the same with Windows Phone, right? Yeah. Well, you can. I mean, come on. Let's be real here, right? Like, let's not be theoretical. Let's be practical, right? You can run Wine as well and try to use a tool for 3 seconds and see what happens, right? So, in theory, you can do everything. In practice, of course, you can't, right? Try running some game on Linux and see how it goes, right? So, but either way, that's why, right? So you can, use VSL, run your Linux services in there, and then use Windows for other things, right? Windows is certainly way more stable than Linux. Also, let's face it. Let's not deceive ourselves, right? I mean, numbers never lie, right? OS market share, let's see. Numbers never lie, and there's reason why numbers are such, right? If we take a look at the numbers, here, very easy, very simple research, right? Linux is right now, Jesus fucking Christ, what a horrible graph. Let's take a look. So Linux, dude, like, where's the, Jesus Christ, dude, for fuck's sake, man. Come on, show me something. Here we go. So Windows, okay, so I think those numbers are clear, right? Those numbers are clear. Like, let's see. Good evening, 25. Let's see. See where Linux is, right? It's nowhere. It's like dead, almost, right? Oh my, shut the fuck up, man. Okay. Where, like, how hard is it to find this data, man? Shut up. Wait. No, man, I don't want... Windows wrap. Yeah, he's not here. Like, what's happening? Dude, where can we find this simple data, man? We're not asking for... Anyway, let's even imagine that those numbers are correct. I think this is bullshit. I'm pretty sure that Windows has probably 70% of market share. But either way, look where the Linux is. So well, we're not talking about server side, right? Because now you're trying to inflate the numbers, right? That's irrelevant. What servers are running is irrelevant. We're not talking about. We're talking about you. Your question was, why would I use VSL over Linux? And I'm telling you, we're now in this context. Of course, that servers mostly run on Linux. That's irrelevant. That's a different subject entirely, right? Nobody's using their server rack to browse the internet, right? So if we take a look at the actual operating systems, good evening, Arcadia, you can see that Linux is kind of dead. It's so bad that it's even irrelevant, right? I mean, you can see that Chrome OS has, I mean, almost 4 times the user base. Fucking Chromium, man, like a browser-based operating system has more users almost 4 times than Linux, right? So that's why, right? It's quite clear. And those numbers are not, you can say, well, people are stupid, I mean, numbers don't lie. If Linux was good, people would use it, right? It's not good and people are not using it. Now, can you make it good and can you make it work? Yes, of course. But people don't operate like that. Nobody wants to be dealing with operating system. And nobody like turn on their computer and it's like, I can't wait to do apt get. Right? People are treating operating system as a thing in the background that always has to work. Nobody opens their computer and is like, oh wow, my operating system is so stable today. Just as we discussed before, nobody says, oh, my internet is so fast, or I have internet, or I have air to breathe, right? Those are things are implicit, right? And you expect them to work. So nobody wants to be doing manual fucking updating of their dependencies and stuff, and you know, pray to gods that they will not boot up next time and see a black screen, right? So that's why this number here is so bad, is because Linux indeed sucks ass, right? Let's face it. And it's coming from someone who's using Linux for 20 and something years, right? I use it, I run some things in it, and it sucks ass, right? That's how it is. Okay. If it didn't suck, it wouldn't be the least used operating system on the planet consumer-wise, right? That's the fact. You can. It's hard to neglect that, right? 2% market share, right? That's how it is. That is how it is. Okay. After shitting on Linux, let's move back here. No. 2023, you're still getting stressed if you upgrade your dependencies, if you're gonna boot up. Ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. Where is this crap? What? Ah, I see. Okay. Little Leon. It's like, yes, my operating system. Every day, like, you turn on your computer and it boots up and you feel success. Like, yes, 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 let's go. Let's go. No black screens today for me, right? Exactly. I remember, man, as a kid, I remember when I was really young, I was maybe like 14, 15. I installed, there was something called, I wanted to be a hacker, right? That's how I became Cisco engineer initially. I was very interested in systems and computer networks, right? So I installed, what was it? Jesus fucking Christ, man. What was the distro? Charex, good evening. Good to have you here. How's life? What was it called? Not Kali. Kali came later. Shit, man. I don't remember. It was no. This was like a hacking. Wait. Hacking distros. What was the name, man? Like my brain. Like how can my brain? I think it became Kali eventually. Like, no, man. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Why am I forgetting? I think I'm just getting too old. Oh, my fucking God, man. Shit. Backtrack, man. Backtrack. I think it was called Back. I remember as a kid playing with this. I don't know if this still exists. Yeah. Here it is. This is what I used when I was young, right? Same for me. Off tomorrow and after tomorrow, so pretty much the same. This is what I used to use, and I remember, man, like it took me like 2 weeks to set up the Wi-Fi adapter, and when I did it, man, it felt like such a success until I upgraded the adapter again, and then it took another 2 weeks to make it work again, right? It was great times, right? It took me only a month to set up my wireless, but after that 1 month of struggle, I felt accomplishment. I don't know. I don't think that this thing is anymore released, is it? Oh, suspended by Kali Linux. So basically, if you've heard about Kali Linux, it used to be Backtrack. I used to kind of hack access point stations in a small city where I come from. You know, I would sniff the packets and stuff like that. It was super fun. I know that half of the city wanted to break my spine, but it was worth it. They never did, obviously, because you can see I'm actually standing here. But it was great times. Okay, well, that's a great story, I guess, and let's move on. It's a very nice story. I like it. Yeah, it was actually a very, very good story, I think. All right. Oh my God, that's actually pretty shitty. All right. The heck is that, man? Serious? Oh, this why I see. All right, cool. All right, well, that's not disgusting at all, I think, anymore. So this kind of layout is as primitive as, you know. I mean, I remember, you know, in 1998, no, 1997, I installed something called NetBus. I was on Windows 98, Windows Millennium. And I remember as a kid, man, as a kid, right, I installed this. Dude, I was such a talented kid, man. Now when I think about it, I'm sorry, such an unhumble thing to say, praising yourself. But dude, how the fuck did I don't know when I was, how old I was in 2008? I don't know, not 2008, 1998, sorry, 1998, not 2008, I'm an idiot. So in 1998, basically, I installed this thing. Sub 7, exactly. Dude, you would literally put an IP address in here from a person and open their CD-ROM, restart their computer and stuff like that. It was mind-blowing how security didn't exist. Like on Windows and Linux especially, of course, there was no security. Literally, like everything was opened up. No firewall coming with the system, right? So you would enter the host name here in this field. This is not bus 170. This came like 2 years later. This came in like 2000, right? But this was the first. No. That, oh my god, that's so fancy. This is like hipster versions. Where's the very first version? That was so, right? Man, I was pissing off so many people as a kid. It's unreal. But yeah, if I ever get rich, man, I'm gonna open a bus company and I'm gonna call it NetBus, just for the fun of it. I swear to God, it was looking like this. It was built in like Visual Basic, I don't know, 4 or 3 or 2. I remember it. Good days. What am I working on today? Basically trying to continue with this courses feature. And I think for the most part, I like the simplicity of it. So we can almost treat it as completed until I record the first course and then I see kind of what's missing. So it's not really terrible so far. It is, I mean, simple as everything else. It has to be because we don't have the content. But yeah, I think it's okay. I think it's fine for now. The only thing, yeah, let's fix that and let's kind of do something else. I don't know. I can't figure out why is our expanded section stuff not working. So let's actually just not do this. Let's just do an explicit return. Return cool. And let's do this value and section ID, man. All right, cool. And yeah, let's see here. Oh my God, what the fuck is that, bro? Why are? Oh shit, man. What? Oh, I'm an idiot, man. I'm an idiot. B41, good evening, my friend. I'm an idiot, and why am I an idiot, you might wonder? Well, it's quite simple. I'm assuming that, of course, every section is going to have incremental ID. So we are using integers in our Postgres, which are incrementing, right? So, of course, we can't say that, I mean, this is ridiculous, right? Pretty dumb, right? Okay, so let's fix that quickly. So let's kind of remove this. And do we have some effect? We do, right? So... yeah. So yeah, so here we have to say set expanded sections. Yeah, something like that, right? And now I think should be fine-ish. Yeah, there we go. So now we are actually, and let's make sure that those sections at least have a different color. B41, how are you, man? How is everything? Oh my God, that's really bad. Nice, man. Good to hear. Good to hear, man. All right, and then let's maybe not do this. Let's say text font bold. Was it like font bold or something like that? I don't remember. Yeah. Yeah. That kind of sucks, right? Yeah. Oh, oof. That really sucks. I mean, what we could have for this crap, right, is yeah, let's kind of come here, right, and let's say if selected lecture dot id is lecture dot id and I don't freaking know, like terminal something, yeah. And let's say here class name of width of 6 or something like that, right? Obviously that's gonna suck. Yeah, it does, but that's also fine, right? That's not completely horrible. And yeah, let's do sheet. Let's do this, right? And then let's make that the flex. Just this repetitive CSS we keep writing every day. This goes to my personal vault. Okay, okay, there we go. First clip. Cool. All right, it's not yeah, shit, man. It actually sucks ass. What? Man, come on, bro. Why? Yeah, super awkward, super awkward. Doesn't look good at all, actually. What about arrow right? Is there some arrow that's less horrible than this? And also like this, what is this? Is there like a gap? Yeah, we don't need that gap, right? Sullivan, my friend, good evening. Here's the hacker. Here's the real hacker today. Sullivan basically has been helping me and by reporting a lot of security things. And thank you very much again, man. I mentioned you today at my work. I'm like, hey guys, there's this guy in my stream that just helps out a lot. Thank you again, man. Appreciate your help. Thank you everybody for your follows. I'm sorry for not mentioning that. Yeah, so this kind of sucks ass. Clearly, right? We can all agree, and there's no question about that. So let's do the absolute trick, right? Let's say this is absolute, and let's say that it's left 0. I think something like that, right? Yeah, Jesus Christ, man. That's actually pretty terrible. No, that's... And also, yeah, I always here to help as well with something, especially if you need a reference for a job or whatever. Just always, I can give you my number. They can also call me whenever. All right. Well, this was an idea at least now. What the hell did I press? That's pretty terrible, I think, at least. Is it? Is it though? I don't actually know. I don't know. Mushfik, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. And yeah, just one thing that I saw, just tiny details, boring like hell. I know, I agree. Capitalize. No, that's not completely disgusting, I think, right? Let me get some water, 1 second. Maybe you can force with CSS first card to be applicated. Yeah, I just did it with CSS. Yeah, exactly. For sure. Definitely agree. I think definitely agree, right? Without a doubt. Okay, let's zoom that out. Okay, I mean, it's not completely disgusting, right? Definitely not. I think only thing I dislike is that, give me 2 seconds here. Yeah, so we're gonna actually move this out and make sure that when you click on the actual title that we get this, right? I don't know what's the point of this div here, so, and let's put this thing here instead. Shit. Yeah. Let's do that, right? So now you should actually be able to click on this thing. Yeah, and yeah. Let's do that as well, right? So that's cool. How do I disable the highlighting? Shit. I don't remember. We're literally using that utility, but tags the, nah. Is it? Nah. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Nah. Selection, yeah. Well, it's not even like this, but I think we can say selection. Can I say like BG none or something like that? Yeah. Shit. No. Or give me a second. Let's go like this. I know that I'm using this selection elsewhere, right? BG maybe. Can I say like BG transparent? Yeah, something like that. Maybe, I don't know. And am I putting it on the right thing though, is the question. Maybe not, maybe yes, I don't know. Let's say BG rows 500. Let's just see if this utility actually works. No, not quite, right? What if I put it here? Nope, all right. Doesn't work. Beautiful, great, perfect, amazing. I like when things don't work, it's just great. Tailwind only feels like well, there's no. Okay, again, you know how I am so far, so everything I say, take it with a grain of salt, but there's no such thing as abstraction. Tailwind is probably the most natural way to write CSS, right? So because this has nothing to do with the Tailwind. We used to write CSS. That's CSS. A foundation of CSS are classes, right? Now, just because some assholes thought that they're too smart, that they invented those things like CSS modules and stuff, has nothing to do with that, right? So Tailwind is not a framework, right? It's just a utility thing, and that's how we used to write CSS, by not repeating the same thing, but you create a class, then you reuse that class. So there's nothing more natural than this. Now, of course, people say, well, you know, this looks ugly and there are so many classes, right? What also looks way more ugly is when you reinvent the same property or feature 5 million times just so you don't have this, right? And this is obviously factually proven by when you look at the output CSS file, compiled CSS file from Tailwind, you realize it's like 5 kilobytes or something, right? So the thing is, it's not really an abstraction at all. It's just utility, and there's a difference, right? There's a difference, right? It's a utility tool broken down into very, very small pieces just for the composition reasons, composability reasons, right? Bootstrap, on the other hand, is a framework, right? It's not a utility library. It's a CSS framework that comes with a bunch of components, a bunch of styles, a bunch of different types of stuff. So it's kind of different purpose, right? Yes, Tailwind has this. They call it, well, just-in-time compiler, right? And it only generates the classes that you use, right? I mean, Google Lighthouse, Google PageRank speed and stuff, if you run their own websites through those tools, they fail a lot of those things. Those tools are really bad in general, right? Of course, unfortunately, what can we do? We have to confront those tools and go along with them. But a lot of things that those tools are seeking for are not realistic. They're simply impossible, right, to achieve. You just can't achieve them, right? For instance, good example of not achievable things with Lighthouse and those things is marketing websites. As I was speaking about a couple of days ago, every marketing website out there has a bunch of external dependencies like Facebook tracking, Google tracking, LinkedIn tracking, YouTube embed videos, and you can't store those files from their CDNs on your own servers. Technically, you can, of course, but that would be a massive project because you would need to make sure that the scripts are synced. So the problem is you just pile up a bunch of those external scripts on any of the, go to any marketing website. If you're working for a company, go to your own and see how many external scripts your marketing has installed through Google Tag Manager and stuff, right? So you'll notice that you can't do anything about those things. You don't control how they load, you don't control how big they are, because simply they are coming from other people's CDNs, right? And you can't optimize this. You know, Lighthouse, Google PageRank speed and stuff, they're gonna they will complain about those things, but you can't do anything about them, right? You don't control those things, right? And that's why sometimes, you know, it's very frustrating, right? Why am I talking about this? Because I was obsessed by performance, like when I was working at Airtime, and I literally wanted to build a product for this. It's like, how do you control and synchronize CDN type of dependencies so you can load them yourself from your own CDN, but then somehow match their version. So for example, if Google Analytics releases a new script and makes this version obsolete, you know, your CDN would sync it and stuff, but it's a lot harder than it actually sounds, right? A lot harder. Not easy at all. What the fuck was I doing? Oh yeah, highlighting thing. Well, actually, okay. All right, really? I mean, okay, cool. Okay, great. That's literally what I want. That's what I want. Beautiful. Yeah, cool. Well, that's the utility. What does this utility do? User select then. All right. User select though. I'm a bit skeptical about support of that thing. I'm sure that it's not supported in Internet Explorer, but nobody cares about that. That horse, right? User select. Oh wow. Okay, that's super surprising. I didn't expect this. That's cool. Okay. Opera Mini. Oh my god, how are we gonna really? Yeah, I'm just kidding. Internet Explorer. Okay, great. That's good. Okay, good. Sullivan, I did not, man. I came back from work today at like 5. Then I was with my son a bit, and then I had to put him to sleep. And then I started streaming. I almost didn't make it today. I'm just exhausted past 3 days because, like Char said, like she said, we have. I think she also lives in Denmark, as far as I saw. I think we have off days here, right? So, but I will. It is a priority, absolutely. I think I'm gonna sit tonight alone off stream and just do it. I am obsessed by security, honestly, and validation and stuff. So it's super kind of super fun when you report those things, because I learn also about some security issues that I didn't even know they exist, right? Like that path reverse thing that you showed me last night, right? Pretty crazy stuff, right? Ah, shit, no, we can't use this arrow. It doesn't make sense. It almost implies that you're gonna expand something. Shit. Okay, that's not cool at all. I just realized. Okay, well, whatever, right? Let's see. I don't know if such thing exists at all, right? What does the Udemy do? Let's take a look at there. Let's take a look there. Oh, they have a sale now. Cool. We should actually go ahead and buy some course because they're Prometheus. Maybe we can buy that. Mastering Prometheus Grafana. Wow, actually that's a good price. Let's see. We might actually. I was thinking to buy a new course. 6.5 hours collecting metrics with Unix. Peppermint, I think that's not a problem. At least if you ask me. I don't think that those user IDs have any significance to anybody, right? And they have to be there, right? We need those IDs to be part of the UI because we are doing a lot of stuff with them, right? No, chicken, no need. Like I have links that some of you guys also gave me, like to millions of those icon packs, right? Okay, that's at the very least exaggeration. Of course, not millions, right? But millions. But sufficient amount, right? Let's just call it like that. Free icons, right? So I have this. Some folks of you have sent it. Search. Actually, I was right. Search over 5 million. $1 billion. Instantly reminds me of this guy. 1 billion. Okay. So let's search here. Select this. Wow, man, those icons are super cool, I think. They don't look terrible at all, actually. I don't even know why I'm looking at this, but actually this is pretty cool. Oh, come on. No. Don't tell me I have to sign up, please. Don't do that. Let me actually see if we can, like... Nah, Jesus, man. Come on. Don't do that. Shit. What is this? I just want to inspect, like, to see. Mainly because I hate Twitter, honestly. I despise it deeply from my soul. No other reason, honestly. I would shut down that platform for the well-being of society. Facebook and Twitter I would instantly ban. If I'm a president, I would if I was chosen as a president, I would instantly ban those two platforms. First thing I would do, literally ban them. I wouldn't ask anyone. Just would do it like a dictator in 2 seconds. First thing I would do, ban it. Prevent VPNs, everything. That's how much I hate it. I think it's cancerous to the society. Completely. Just ban those platforms. TikTok, TikTok, whatever it's called. Twitter, all of that garbage. Just remove. Instant ban. Instant ban. Like, no brainer. Disgusting platforms, man. Full of hate, trolls. Instagram, I don't know. I haven't seen Instagram maybe 3 times in my life, so I haven't developed opinion on it. I never had Instagram, and maybe some dude friend of mine have sent me 3 times in my life a picture of some hot chick or something like that. I might have clicked on it, which clearly I did. Of course, I'm a dude, right? But that's the only interaction I ever had with Instagram. 3-4 times. Facebook, I removed my Facebook account together with my wife around 14 years ago. I'm lying, maybe 13 to 14 years ago, I removed Facebook, and I would also nuke that. Facebook is less harmful, right? Because most of the parents are there. So kids are kind of sustained to do stupid things, right? But generally, no. I think genuinely those platforms are really bad for people. They're not good. And of course, now you can become philosophical with me and saying, "Oh, wow, it's not the platform's fault. It's the people's fault." Sure, absolutely it is, right? But if people can't handle it, they shouldn't be using it. Either teach people to handle it, which you will never do, or don't allow it, right? I don't know. I just hate it. I don't think it's doing anything good at all, honestly. Just my 5 cents, right? LinkedIn I have, there's the LinkedIn and Programmer Network. Those are 2 social platforms I have. LinkedIn I have as a necessary evil. Obviously, my references are there, my work is there, This I have. Is it disgusting as well? Yes. Is it useless for the most part? Yes. Is this content useful for the most part? Not. But at least there isn't hate, right? At least not on my feed. At least there's no like, oh my God, how about you die or whatever, right? Exactly, man. Negativity sells, right? Even on Twitch, drama people, yeah, right? Even Twitch, when the people with the most viewers on Twitch, either gamers or programmers or those who just comment and shit. Like this Vim guy, I clicked on his stream several times. I never saw him coding. He's just talking about Twitter, or watching some other video and then commenting on it. Ridiculous, right? So it seems that generally, I think, and socially, I think as a species, we are on a level where we like that crap, right? We like the drama, we like the Exactly, yeah. And that's people like that, right? People don't watch those streams because you're coding. Just like a bunch of bullshit. Autumn Light, good evening, buddy. So that's how it is. I respect that, right? Don't take me wrong. People sell what people want to buy. It's basics of capitalism, right? People gonna do whatever they have to do to get more viewers. I get that, right? So that's how it is, right? That's especially those people who try to do this full time. I can't, right? I can't judge them, right? That's what they have to do, right? The topic is we're just building a programmer network. You can actually go and sign up if you wish. There you go. I think it's the best thing is to go there. Okay, I've been looking at the icon for like past 10 minutes. Okay. I like this actually. See what they do. They have this little icon, right? Okay. I like that. I have an idea. So I think we can do the same crap, right? It's just in our own case, right? What we can do is we can either show the video if there is a video, or like some sort of a book or something. Because if you recall, right, not all of the lessons have to have a video, right? Some of them can be just text, or all of them can be. Okay, great. I actually like that. Let's take that. Play. I like that. Actually. I think that makes sense. It is really a mixture of very common. So Programmer Network has nothing mind-blowing. Nor it's gonna have it's gonna be a mixture of social features, blogging features, reading features in one, right? Actually, that's super strange, Sullivan. I need to configure those bots. I just need to learn how. I didn't put in any time. But when it comes to Programmer Network, it's nothing mind-blowing as of features like we have some majestic feature. It's more about just trying to combine known features that work in other places and then make it for programmers. So you can come here and talk about technology and leave, right? Nobody cares about your political opinions, about any of your bullshit. You have plenty of platforms to do that elsewhere, right? You can go to Reddit and hate there. You can go hate people on Facebook, right? Here, you want to just read some technology, have a nice time and leave. And that's in simple words what a platform is for, right? There's no democracy on this platform. If I ever see politics, I'll just ban everybody. Memes, of course. Well, memes, yeah, that depends on the community, right? If community likes that, but dude, it seems to me that the only way today in the modern times to build anything that adheres to any sort of quality, you just have to be like a freaking dictator, right? Once you start making exceptions, it's fine to hate on this, right? You cannot hate this, but it's fine, right? No, I mean, we'll have a very strict policy. It's like, man, just talk about programming and that's it. If you can't, fuck off, and that's all, right? Super simple, right? That's what it is, right? And I'm sure there are going to be people who share feelings like me, and there's going to be many who don't, and that's perfectly fine, right? That's perfectly fine, right? It's just we want people who are like that and not like the other ones, right? So it's better to have quality of some people than quantity, right? Can I ask you for some advice? I completed a software developer course with Academy. It lasted a year. How realistic is to find a job now? I say you need experience, although they are looking for a junior position. They just ignore me and understand. I see. Okay, so let me. Good evening, Blizzard. So you finished a boot camp of some sort, I presume, and you in a year. And how realistic to find a job? Your question is good. Your question is good. It's just I would need a bit more context, like where do you live and stuff like that. But I think it's very realistic that you find a job, right? Unfortunately, and I'm not gonna try to fakely make you feel better because I never do that with people. I'll just tell you the honest thing. Interviewing, especially at the early start of programming career, is very random and broken, right? So, you know, you are one out of millions now who is in that situation, and you're not the only one. You're not the only one who is getting rejected and stuff. So unfortunately, you just have to beat the statistics and odds, right? So you just have to keep applying, and you're gonna be rejected until one day you will not, right? So I mean, it's a very shallow response, right? Only thing I can tell you is like you just have to keep applying, and you have to forget about. I think a couple of days ago there was somebody here in the chat. He was also a very junior. He just got into industry, but his worry, he was already thinking about his salary kind of progression. And like, if you cannot have this mindset as a junior, right? If you're just starting, if you just finished some university, or you just finished some boot camp, or you learn stuff on your own, you cannot be expecting high salary because you suck, right? Let's face it, right? So when you just finish school, you fucking suck. Unless you are an exception. Most people who finish any school, they suck, right? That's normal. I'm not saying this in a negative sense. It's normal that when you never worked in your life, that you don't know much. That's expected. But it's also not normal that with such or no experience, you're now start demanding like, I don't want this salary, you know, I want this, right? So you have to kind of be patient, right? Like, we try to find a company, even if it's paying a little bit less, go there for a year or two, gain some experience, and then over time you're gonna be dictating your salary, right? But you cannot be expecting all at once, right? So I would say, let me see what somebody sends a mic on. So in simple words, right? Like, try to find a company, we could do this. I wanted to something more square, let's see. So anyway, try to focus on finding a good company where you can grow. Exactly, good. In that case, that's great. I have no doubts that you're gonna find it, right? That's good. That's good then. If you wanna I used to do that, so keep in mind, Blizzard, I'm not ever saying something I didn't do myself. I will never give someone an advice. I would never give you an advice of something that I haven't done or that I wouldn't do. So I worked for free at the start of my career, free under quotes, because nothing is free, right? Somebody taking you in, teaching you, putting other developers on you to help you, right? That's not free, right? So I did that as well. And today I'm dictating salaries myself, right? So today, you know, 10, 15 years later, I am choosing my salary, right? So be patient, right? Stay motivated. And this is not some bullshit story. I'm genuinely telling you. You know, for every position almost out there, 99% of people get rejected, right? So don't take it personally. Even though we're human beings, we cannot separate ourselves from our emotions, right? So it's not that, you know, you get rejected, it's like, okay, I'm not gonna feel anything. Of course you're gonna feel. Nobody likes to get rejected. Rejection is one of the worst things for human beings that exists, right? But that's what it is, you know. Just keep on going, and right. It's how it is, right? Keep on going, and the thing is, a lot of people, let me tell you one thing, let me be very honest with you, right? A lot of people are gonna say, okay, let me just be very honest with you. There are many times, many times, right, when I didn't respond candidates. Why? Because the thing is, your perception, Blizzard, now is that someone out there saw your application and they didn't respond. But keep in mind, probably nobody even saw it, right? So keep in mind, like when I was hiring here at Dream Data recently, right? I cannot go through, you know, I cannot go through 100 applications, right? I don't have the time for that. I cannot open, you know, Workable, the platform where we get applications, and click on every single person. We don't have the resources for that. My job is not, I'm not a recruiter, right? So don't take it personally that somebody didn't respond to you because they didn't want to, right? All right. Cool. Interesting. But yeah, but this is kind of gonna suck if it's too small, right? Okay, well, let me see. Bunch of stuff was written. People wrote a bunch of stuff. I'm 28, been using it. It's never too late for anything in life, man. Ever. Like, of course not. It's absolutely not. Of course, you can become anything you want if you focus and work hard. What do you think about website builders? I think they serve a great purpose in the world, and I think they're great for specific things. For small businesses who can't afford developers, for simple use cases, for even more complicated use cases. And I think they're great for companies, for small startups that just raised some funding. You don't have the money to hire a website team, right? So I think they're very good. I think website builders are great for specific stages of your company and your growth, because again, when you build a startup and you have 2-3 people, 5 people, 100%, I mean, you would only in insanity invest some of that money into a website, right? So that's where those website builders come in. Like WordPress is a good example. Let's say that WordPress to some extent is a website builder as well. You basically your content creators can operate on it and stuff. So those tools are actually very good for specific cases. Now, of course, you cannot build custom products like this in them. That if I could, I would use them, but you can't, right? But for marketing websites, they are the absolute way to go. Absolute way to go. I think Autumn. I think the thing is, the biggest problem with that, right, is that you are now trying to tailor something for developers, right? So I don't know if I'm not to say to discourage you, right? The thing is, developers generally don't care about those builders. Those builders are generally very tempting for non-technical people, right? So you are basically, as far as I understand, asking me, what do I think if you could through VS Code do this and that? I don't think that's necessarily useful, no. Because no marketer or salesperson or some CFO is gonna be maintaining their company website through Visual Studio Code, right? So, you know, I'm not some holy grail of knowledge, so take everything I say carefully, right? But I'm not so sure, right? I'm not so sure. Again, those website builders, they serve a purpose and they serve it really well, but their purpose stops. Yeah. Definitely, if you wanna make money And there are obviously many website builders out there. There's probably thousands of those tools today. It's ridiculous, right? But I think that's, even though it's a very saturated space, I think there's always space for an additional tool there, but it has to be tailored for non-technical people, right? Because no developer is going to be using that. I promise you that. And if you want me to elaborate more, I'm very happy. Again, it's not out of my ass. It's true, right? Because most developers in general, they don't care about their company websites. If you go to any website, if you go to your company's website or the team that works there, your developers don't care about it. They don't. It's websites generally. So if you are working as a web developer in your company, generally web developers are not even parts of the product. Web developers are part of the marketing, right? So if you're a web developer, you mostly end up working with marketing teams, not with engineering teams, right? Because nobody except marketing literally cares about it, right? No person in the company except marketing cares about the website. And even marketing wouldn't care about it, but they have to, because that's their source of advertising, right? Again, Autumn, right? You probably know way more about that than I do, right? So let me not pretend here about that, right? I can just tell you based on my experience building teams, working with teams and stuff. I can tell you that the website builders themselves serve very specific thing and are usually maintained by web developers. So people who know some CSS, HTML, etc., right? So they're almost never handled by the actual engineering teams, right? Exactly. And your product is going to be used way more by no-code people, right? Okay. Oh my fucking god! All right. All right, let's cut that. Oh shit, so they're... Come on, man, don't mess with me. Are you fucking kidding me, man? Well, clearly not. All right, I see. Sure, it's fine. The thing is, let me tell you one thing. Let me just tell you one thing, because it's an interesting subject, Autumn, right? So just hear me out for a minute, right? I think that, so there's several, so there are few things that a marketing website needs, right? And those are the most important things. So CMS, right? So CMS is the most fundamental thing for a marketing website or company website. Without CMS, you can build the most amazing code base. Nobody will care. Why? Number one, those websites are maintained by marketing, by content writers and creators, by a CEO in early stage startups, etc., etc. So that's number one. So you can build the perfect code, generate everything. If you don't have a CMS, your product is completely useless. Number two, tracking, right? After the CMS, your tracking is second most important thing for customer-facing websites. Like, how easy can I integrate with? Now, of course, most companies, they're using GTM, Google Tag Manager, and this enables non-technical people to install the script tags, right? So Google Tag Manager basically dynamically injects the scripts that you set inside of Google Tag Manager, right? 3, forms, right? And this applies to tracking as well, tracking forms. I work for a company, I'm an expert in those 2 things, right? I have built the whole tracking ecosystem at Dream Data, so I know a lot about those things, right? This is kind of my domain right now at work. I have built those tools at Dream Data. So those are without this, websites are useless. So let me show you. Let's go to, I don't know, let's go to Pleo.com, right? No, Pleo.io. So let's go here. This is the first thing that came to my mind. Tracking forms, yes. Most people, most developers have no fucking clue what tracking is. Probably most of you have very little knowledge about tracking, right? So let me give you a 1-minute course of what tracking is, right? Just so you can understand. So when I land on this page, right? No matter what the tracking is it Google Analytics, Dream Data, is it segment, etc. This is how tracking works. So you come to this website, right? You came from somewhere. So you came from some, origin, right? You came from somewhere else, right? So, and that's usually called refer URL. So you were referred from some website. So for example, if I found Pleo on LinkedIn and I clicked that link, refer URL would be LinkedIn. So in their tracking, in their page event, they would see that I'm coming from LinkedIn. So they would have that. Now, why do websites have those forms? Why do you think that this is here? Do you seriously think that they give a shit about any of this? So what's happening? So when I land on this website, right, I am anonymous to this website. So right now they have generated some anonymous ID from me, but they don't know who I am. I do exist as some user with some ID, but they don't really know who I am. But if I fill in this form now and I say hi programmer.network, what they are gonna do, right? They're gonna associate that anonymous ID with my email. So they're gonna SHA-1 this email of mine. So what you do, you take an email, you run it through a SHA algorithm. So you encode it basically to some strings, so you're not sending emails around. And now suddenly Pleo, their marketing department, knows that I came from somewhere, I was clicking, I was checking their product, and then I filled in this form. So they have a whole customer journey of me. They know where I came from, they know where I was going, etc. And now every single time when I come back again, maybe to this website and book a demo, then I fill this form maybe 2 weeks later, they will then know, okay, here's the user, here's Alex, we have his anonymous ID and then the user ID, which they got when the email was entered. So now we know who he is. So from the moment on, as soon as you come, you become anonymous user, then you become identified user. That's generally done by tracking. So when you fill this form in, what they're gonna do analytics.identify, they're gonna take your email. So they're gonna take your email, they're gonna SHA-1 it, they're gonna turn it into this encoded string, etc. So whenever you see those types of things on the websites, like, download a free ebook or get this free tutorial, they don't do that because they want to give you the shitty ebook. They don't give a shit. They need to make sure, they want to know who you are. So when you download that ebook, what you do to them is like, check, now we know who he is. Now we can track him from the LinkedIn side, Facebook side, Google side, anywhere where that user might be clicking on our own ads, etc., right? Exactly. So this is, in simple words, how it works, right? So why am I saying this? Well, going back to this point here, right? So now let's go back to this list that I wrote. So why is this important? Well, why is this important? Well, companies need to be able to set up tracking with their forms very easily. Why am I saying that? Well, past 2 years, I've been setting forms in my company for HubSpot, Salesforce, Hey Forms, iframes, custom forms. I have built literally frameworks of Dream Data for this. I have built automatic tools that do some of this stuff. Generally, customer websites, they need to be able to integrate tracking seamlessly. So if you're making your own kind of tool for websites, this should be your top. I literally was thinking, what I wanted to do after I finish, under quotes, programmer network, I literally wanted to build a product like something like this, and literally build a super small, simple product that only does the forms properly. Look at this product, look at this. So this product, for example, only enables you to integrate forms in your website, right? $50 a month, right? Easy to build, serves one specific purpose, right? So again, those three things are holy grail of marketing websites. If you don't have this done properly, nobody gives a crap about your tool, right? You can have perfect React generated whatever code, right? Yeah, and I'm sharing this knowledge as an expert in this field. So I'm not talking out of my ass. I built tools for this at Dream Data. I help big customers every day. I help multi-million companies with this literally every month or so. I have meetings with them and stuff. So this is not bullshit. I'm telling you this as somebody who does this actually full time, right? So again, if you focus on this, if you nail this, if you nail those things down, you're gonna succeed. If you don't nail those things down, you're gonna fail. That's how it is. Because nobody cares again about just this can generate images and text. You can do that with WordPress past 20 years, right? But what you can't do easily is this. And then here is like how content creators collaborate, right? Etc. etc. For the most extent, this is why content creators love WordPress, because WordPress is still unmatched, right? WordPress is still unmatched when it comes to this, right? This, though, most tools suck at this big time, right? And that's the thing, right? And it could be very much, yes, indeed, exactly. All right, cool. Let me get some water. So you need that, right? And your target group should be mainly people like that, right? Not the developers, right? Developers don't care. I'm not saying that extra value. Thanks, man. Why do they suck? Simple words. They suck because they're not tailored for marketers to do it. They're tailored for developers to do it. You have to understand one fundamental thing. And let me repeat this. Let me tell you one, and thank you very much. Let me thank you very much, Autumn. Let me tell you one thing. So no engineers in your organization care about the company website. Again, as I said, website is not built by engineering product teams. Websites are generally built by a single or multiple web developers who work with marketing. Now, this is in a very good idealistic case. Most companies out there, they outsource their things. So for example, majority of the companies, they don't have the developer in the website. Most of those websites, they're built by consulting, they're finished, and then every now and then, companies need to pay them again. The problem with the forms is that existing products don't solve the problem for marketers and non-technical people. So if you ask a non-technical person today, like a marketer, hey, can you set up tracking? They probably gonna be, what the fuck are you talking about, right? Yeah, I have actually wrote several scripts for HubSpot forms as well. A lot of our customers at Dream Data, they're using HubSpot as their CRM, right? So a lot of them, had issues figuring out, hey, how do we track those embedded iframes? Because HubSpot, you embed the right. But generally, the question was like, why does it suck? It sucks because it's not intended for non-technical people. You need to make those experiences smooth for non-technical people, and that's where the money is, right? So that's the problem. So of course that the developer can inject a script. I mean, that's no brainer. But you have to understand, not every company has a developer working on the website. In fact, majority of the companies don't, which means it puts a lot of burden on them. You're trying to sell them some product where they're gonna have to implement tracking, and they know upfront that's a blocker already because they don't have a person to do that, right? So if you can solve that by making the tracking injectable with common, with common providers, like you can build a product, Autumn, right? And say, I'm gonna support Dream Data, Google Analytics, Segment, HubSpot and stuff. I'm gonna focus on integrating those products seamlessly. Salesforce, Pardot, Pardot Forms, etc., right? This is where the money is. Don't go for the fancy shit. Money is where HubSpot is. Money is where Salesforce is. Those big companies use those tools. Those are the billion-dollar tools, right? So if you can solve that, I literally gave you a working use case of yeah. I mean, if I literally had the time, if I wasn't working on this, I would be working on something like that. 100%. 100%. Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, it actually literally did almost what I wanted. Pretty crazy, isn't it? Thank you, Matt. Matthews. The thing is, Autumn, right? Developers, us as a personas, right? We have the tools, right? The money is in business, right? The money is like your pitch could be, I'm building a product that takes away as much of necessity for having in-house developer as possible. This could be a pitch. You could say, hey, I'm building this greatest CMS where you can seamlessly integrate tracking, content creation, etc. This should be your pitch, right? Your pitch shouldn't be, I'm building a product that developers can write VS Code. Nobody gives a fuck, right? No, like, you get what I mean. Nobody cares about that. Jesus Christ, what? If you would build a program network for mobile, what technology would you go? I would go with whatever is easiest, right? Probably React Native. Whatever is easiest as possible, right? Whatever is the easiest for me, right? Because all of those tools are great. Or maybe I would go with not React Native. Man, when I see it, not Flutter, no. Once I see it, I'm gonna tell you. I don't remember. Not Ionic, I think. No, none of those. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, Ionic, exactly. This is what I would do, yeah. In general, I would always go with whatever is easiest, right? Obviously, because I want to build products, not tools, right? Yeah, I mean, I don't care how much FPS it has. It's just a web page, right? Yeah, I would probably use this. Yep. Probably would use this, yeah. What's my opinion on AI? I think it's great. I think those tools are kind of Google on steroids, right? I use it every day, and I'm trying to incentivize my colleagues at work to use it as well. Why do I do that? Well, it's an amazing tool right now. How people are going to use it indeed, I agree with you that, yeah, if you just blindly copy paste stuff without context, that it's probably not good for you in a long run. But you know, I have historically learned that whenever something mind-blowing, whenever some revolution happens, you only have really two ways to go. You can either neglect it or go with it, right? If you look back through history, right, you always had people who were skeptical about calculators, skeptical about internet, skeptical about computers, skeptical about printers, skeptical about pretty much everything, right? And then you had people who were just embracing change, and now, of course, am I saying that every change is good? Of course not. We don't know when evolution should stop, and we don't actually know if maybe we are already in devolution, if such thing exists, right? But I'm a huge realist, right? So my biggest trait of my character is that I just embrace reality, right? And I think that the reality is that AI is here, and you have a choice. You can use it and be probably way more productive, or you can refuse to use it and fall behind, right? What my feelings are towards it, I don't think it matters much, because who cares what I feel, how I feel about it? Clearly, nobody asked me. You know, world didn't ask me should the world use it, right? So in a way, I think you know, I'm using it, and I will be using it, right? It doesn't stress me out. I mean, why would it, right? Because I'm using it as well. So it would probably stress me out if I wasn't using it, right? But since I'm using it, I'm probably ahead of some people already. So I would probably be stressed out if I'm not using it, right? But I don't, hysteria is there always, right? Because hysteria sells, right? And we had blockchain, machine learning, crypto, you know, real money is dead, crypto is gonna take over. Well, it's been 10 years now, you still can't buy anything for crypto, right? So, I mean, I would say it's all just bullshit. This AI is also bullshit to some degree, right? So, but this is, I think, how we as a species perceive those new things, right? We kind of can't absorb the emotion, and then we obviously always react like impulsively, like little children, right? Does performance matter? I think the only thing that matters if you're talking about your own tool is that it's preferably, you know, a statically generated site, right? Well, I mean, the thing is, right, like AI is useful to some population, right? AI isn't useful to people who are working on the cornfields, who are having farms and cows and pigs, or people who are fixing cars for the most part. I mean, to some degree they are, right? But we cannot say that AI is equally important to everybody. There's some industries where AI is meaningless or it does nothing, right? So depending what you're doing, right? AI, like all other tools, right? Some tools are useful for some people and they're useless for some other people, right? So for some intellectual jobs, right? So let me show you one product, Autumn. Let me show you one product that you should be really trying to mimic. I think it was called Hardly Press. Yeah. Or Hardly Press. Let me find it. I used to use this tool, I think 7 or 8 years ago. Yeah, here it is. So this is what I used around maybe 7 years ago. And let me tell you about this tool. This tool is amazing. I like this tool. Why do I like this tool? Well, what does this tool do so I like it? You might wonder, right? Well, what this tool does, it gives you WordPress as a CMS in the background to you and your content writers, but then it deploys a static website to AWS S3 in the background. So you get best of both worlds. You get the CMS for your content creators, and then you get the best of technology, which means when you click deploy, what you deploy is a static site, completely static. So it's not server-side rendered. Let's not mix things here. It's not like Next.js or WordPress. WordPress as well, and Next.js and similar, they're server-side rendered. this generates a static site with assets, just static assets, HTML pages and stuff. So it's not, so this is not WordPress rendering your site. This is just WordPress as a CMS. And then when you publish your website, it publishes just a static site directory. So this was, when I was at Airtime, I helped building this. So this website is using, I think, still hardly pressed, right? And this is completely statically generated site, right? Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Absolutely. Chips, good evening, buddy. So take a look at this tool. Take a look at this tool, Autumn, right? This is pretty awesome, right? People, this is not some super known company, but I find this product to be incredibly valuable, right? Incredibly valuable, because this is approximately what a marketing website would want. Hey, give me the amazing CMS, which, let's face it, WordPress still is. It probably still is, right? Yeah, this is the GIF, yes. And then you get other half, the best of the other part of the world, which is it's uploaded to AWS S3 bucket, and then it's served from there. So super efficient. You cannot get it faster than a static site, right? There's nothing faster than a statically generated site, like Jekyll and stuff like that. So not server-side rendered, but statically generated. There's a huge difference, right? Because server-side rendered site still needs to render that payload and then deliver it to the browser, and that can still be slow. That can be incredibly slow, right? Yeah, I mean, this is yeah, it doesn't get faster than this, right? Because this is static shit. It's not server-side rendered, right? And this is, I think, what many people actually mix. Server-side rendered and static are two different worlds. Static site is built once and then just delivered. The assets are delivered and cached, and it's instant. Well, I mean, Programmer Network is a single-page application, right? Because I don't have the time to optimize some server-side rendering now, right? But this is a server-side. This is a single-page app, right? And I like single-page applications, right? They are also just like static sites and server-side rendering. They serve a good purpose, right? So it really depends on. Sullivan, no, it's not. It's validated. It only takes the YouTube videos right now. It only takes the YouTube videos now. So if we go actually here, we're missing something here. But if we try this, right, invalid YouTube URL, so it has to be, right? No, man. It's a very interesting. Dude, like, I'm enjoying the discussion as well. I'm enjoying the discussion. Absolutely, no worries, man. No worries. I'm genuinely enjoying the discussion as well. It's both front end and back end. It's both, right? It's kind of isomorphic, right? It's the same validation on both ends, right? Yeah, man. Of course, absolutely, dude. I have no doubts that we can all learn from each other like a lot. Yeah, here it is. So here is the validator, right? Valid YouTube URL, and then it has to match this, right? It's just a regular expression, right? And then if we go here, right, you can see that now in my AJV, I have video URL, which has to be a valid YouTube URL, right? Well, I mean, everything is hosted on some server, right? I mean, every website on the planet is hosted on some server, right? So that's true, yes. But the difference between, look, let me just put it this way, right? Let's open this very complicated tool, right? So you have the client, right? And then you have SSR, server-side rendering, and then you have a static site. So server-side rendering, and then you have a static website, right? Why is this a huge difference? The huge difference is this. This thing is built once and files are delivered and cached, it's completely static in most cases. This thing is rendered for every request, right? Exactly, right? So this thing has an API, has a database, it needs to fetch some records, it needs to compile, it needs to, let's say, compile HTML and deliver it back to UI, right? This thing is in most cases static constant, right? And that's what most marketing sites are. They're constant, right? They rarely have things dynamically changing. Maybe they have some AJAX call to fetch some sort of latest news or whatever, but that's also static, right? Cached by CDN, sure. But when I say static, I mean it's not server-side rendered in a sense. In like Next.js, you're constantly re-rendering that stuff. You go to /something, then the server renders the HTML from JSX, from JavaScript, from the whatever templating engine is. It can be Pub or Jade or Handlebars or whatever, but it's a templating engine, right? It has to generate some HTML and then deliver it back to the UI, right? Well, I mean, I think Autumn, I would stop here with the details myself because, yeah, there's various ways. Right now, I think we're getting into deep details, right? That would be contextual, right? Depending what we're talking about, right? No worries, absolutely. The thing is, like, if you go to I don't know, apple.com, this is probably statically generated site, right? Why? Because why would you generate this crap every time? Why would you server-side render this constantly? Because there's nothing changing here. There's no dynamic stuff. They're not fetching or talking to different services, right? Probably, right? So in a way, most websites out there that are static, it's best if they're just generated as files statically and then delivered, right? Let's see here, right? Yeah, so this is probably re-rendering everything, right? So let's see. I'm pretty sure it is, right? So there's, yeah, you can actually see this. Can you not see it? You can see that this is classical case of a static website, right? You can see that there's no concept of like virtual DOM or anything like that, right? So you can see that as I click through, you see that everything is re-rendering. The menu, the whole HTML document is being re-rendered. You can see what's happening, right? So this is a classical case of just separate pages. Each one of these things is a completely separate HTML page. They're just handling this in their Nginx or Apache or something. They're just saying, hey, omit the HTML extension, right? This is done on their server side, right? But generally, this seems to be a classical case of a server. And that's why it's so fast, right? That's why this is so incredibly quick, because it literally loads almost as if it was loading from an FTP, right? It's just loading the objects from some storage like AWS or Google Cloud storage or something like that, right? You don't get faster than this. And the only way you can get this fast is by having a static site. There's no other way, right? Yeah. Let's take a look at this. You see the difference here, right? This is server-side rendered, right? But this is terribly server-side rendered, right? So this is like a great example of a horrible hybrid application, right? Because this is Amazon, so let's not be smart asses, right? This is the most used website probably on the planet. But you can see that this is not necessarily as optimized as it could be, right? Yeah, exactly. But dude, like, if anything I want people to take away from this stream, anything, if you never come back to watch me again, understand that all of those metrics are very contextual and very relevant and irrelevant depending on who you are. Amazon doesn't give a shit about their page speed score because every person on earth knows about Amazon, right? So they don't care, right? So there's so much business context when you're evaluating those metrics. It's like Facebook. If you probably go and do the page speed whatever on Facebook, it's probably gonna suck, right? Because they don't care. Everybody knows about it, right? So there has to be context when you're trying to evaluate those metrics. Why are you doing it, and what are you trying to achieve, right? Like those guys don't care. They own the whole infrastructure. They have their own servers, right? They can't care less, right? You can actually see that this is I mean, it's still very efficient, right? But you have to have business always, no matter, just because we're developers, it doesn't mean that we're not. We are driving the business forward, right? So if you want to truly be a great engineer, you have to truly care about business. You cannot be a great engineer if you don't care about your users. Like, you will suck. Because if you don't care about your users, that means that you don't care if they're happy, then nobody cares about your code, your framework, whatever, right? Exactly, that's what I'm saying, Pepper. I'm not saying that it's irrelevant. I'm just saying it depends on the context, who you are, what your product is, and stuff like that, right? What's your marketing strategy, right? How are you getting people to the website? Is it organic search? Then yes, you care about this. What are the channels through which you're acquiring your users, right? For example, I work at Dream Data, right? This is company where I work. We use Squarespace. We use this third-party software builder, right? Dream Data on average costs, the product that I'm building costs on average, if I take all the customers, let's say, I don't know, several thousand euros, 30, 40, 50,000, I don't actually know, right? So we clearly also don't care about those things because the way that we acquire customers is entirely different, right? Okay. Whew. All right. Ah, shit, I remember now. Fuck. Performance trick. Let me see what you wrote. Sorry. Look, let me just tell you straight away, right? Don't focus on those things. I think, again, you're being too technical, right? And you have to, if you want to truly, I mean, you are, as far as I can understand from what you said, Autumn, right? You're doing something similar like I am, in a sense. You've spent 2 years now building something aside from your work, right? So your intention is to build something that maybe can become something more than just a hobby project, right? If you want to do that, then your focus needs to change, right? Don't talk about WebSockets and tiny optimizations, right? You can do those things eventually. You have to build a focus on getting the biggest value of the stream, right? For me, is that people are kind of giving feedback. Probably the people are actually here because I'm talking. They don't give a shit about Programmer Network, right? And I get that, but focus on getting your stuff out there and then asking people what they want, right? Those tiny optimizations, oh, I'm gonna load this and that at this point in time, you can do this later. You can do this as micro optimizations to make it even better, right? But you cannot make something great that hasn't even have one user, right? Lean Startup, I can confirm, is a great book. I read it in Sweden maybe 8 years ago when it came out. It's a great book, yes. It's kind of one of the Bibles of startup building, 100%. 100%. Well, we have the slugs. So the thing is, we have both. Both of them are unique, Sullivan, right? We're not really using IDs. We both have both, right? I mean, right? I don't actually know, right? This is one of those things, Sullivan, right, that I don't think about now. Let me actually sit. I've been standing now for what? For like, how long have I been streaming? 2 hours. Give me 1 second. Let me just pull the desk down. Oh man, that feels nice. Oof. Ah. Jesus Christ. I mean, look, you guys are right? Yeah, this is a special chair. This is like this wheel chair, tire chair. You guys are right? Your guys are right. But let's think about that problem when we have 3 articles written at least, right? You get what I mean, right? That's kind of where the devil is, right? We're talking, for example, now about infinite amount of articles, but we don't have 5 articles in the whole platform, right? So some of those things you have, like how many articles we have in the whole platform? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're good for some time, right? And when the time comes, if ever, we're gonna migrate that in half an hour, right? Because those IDs are internal to the articles. Like when you click on an article, it still opens up an actual slot, right? But I don't because if we go that path, right, then we can micro optimize everything, right? And then we'll never finish anything, right? So we can't do that, right? So you guys are right, but you know, let's reach 100 articles, 1,000, and then worry about Postgres max integer. No, that's not what I want. Is this the number? So is this the number of articles that we can potentially have? Right? I don't think that Medium has this many articles after, 15 years, right? Sure. In that case, right? So we are basically, but either way, right, we're not even at 7, right? So we have how many decimal points? Probably a few trillion here. This number is, I cannot even read this number, right? I think if all of us here in chat would start writing articles now, and each one of us write 5 a day, we would not write this number in 20 lifetimes, right? So I think we're pretty safe. Right? I think so. At the rate of how many articles people wrote so far, I think we're pretty safe. Yeah, okay. All right, well, we didn't do any work, but it's fine. Super nice discussions. I don't care, actually. I don't care. What did I want to do? Oh yeah, there's this video. Jesus Christ, man. Why is it so huge there? I mean, the thing is, look, I'm not a SQL expert, clearly, right? So I wouldn't know, right? I can just tell you that I'm dreaming to reach any limits of anything. I'm dreaming that scalability becomes an issue. I'm dreaming that we need to increase from int to big int. You get what I mean? So the thing is, it is a challenge getting there, right? Because a lot of us, this is kind of what I speak a lot in the stream about for months now, right? We all speak about scalability, extensibility, and all of that shit, right? But at the end of the day, I mean, you know, like right now I'm running everything on a hosting that's 20 euros a month, right? So this is the usage right now, right? So this is the CPU usage, memory and stuff, right? Like, you see where I'm going with this, right? So scalability is clearly, for 98.5% of products, never an issue. Because to reach that level of even a single Node.js and single Postgres processes to become, to not be scalable, right? You need a lot of users, right? So that's why I'm saying I truly hope that our problems become infrastructural, or oh, we need a higher ID, because right, that's a challenge. Everything else is not a challenge. Building this shit is clearly not a challenge. Anyone can learn how to build an API, few CRUD operations and stuff like that. But how do you get thousands of users to the platform is the challenge, right? How do you make them come back? How do you activate them, right? There's something called Activision when it comes to product, like how do you activate the people? For example, right now, even if you are one of the 300 people who signed up to Programmer Network, right? You have probably noticed that there's no external bumpers, that there's nothing inviting you to come back. There's no emails like, hey, Borna, hey, Pepper, you know, you have 4 notification in Programmer Network. There's no external bumpers, as they're called, from the platform itself. So to activate users to come back, right now it's non-existent, right? So what I'm trying to say, I guess, is that to reach a stage where this is a problem, if we ever reach it, ever, then we already succeeded, right? I'm not worried about scalability. This is the least thing I'm worrying about, right? Because this is easy. This is easy today. You can scale horizontally or vertically. You can move to GCP or AWS, enable auto scaling and stuff like that. So who cares, right? That's never going to be an issue. It's like, how do you make this thing useful, right? How do you make people come here and use this crap? Well, you need to provide some value, and that is hard. Building technical product is not hard. I mean, really, almost anyone can do that, right? Super strange. Okay. Well, I hope it will, right? I mean, I hope it will. Then we can solve it. But that means that there's traction, there is people, there's product is happening, right? So we cannot think about scaling the platform to 1 billion users when we have 300 registered users and like 10 active users, right? So you need to fight those. You have to build your system with, of course, constantly with scalability in mind, hoping that one day you will need to scale. I'm not saying anything literal. I'm obsessed by that, but I'm saying, right? My pleasure, man. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for very interesting discussions, man. I enjoyed it. I think, yeah. Right. And yeah, please come by whenever, man. I'm here almost every night unless I'm that tired. So looking forward to see you again tomorrow or any day. Any day. So you know, going back to this, you have to fight the battles as they come. Otherwise, you'll never build anything, right? Or you'll never build anything, right? You can't solve every problem before it exists, right? That's just why the fuck is this? Oh, actually, Sullivan, yeah, I was supposed to fix that today because we do have the tags, right? And I was supposed to build the Sako is here. Sako is in the house. Sullivan, there is an infrastructure for that. I mean, I can make that relatively easily, right? And I agree that was one of the next things I wanted to do, right? And you should have, absolutely. Absolutely, Chick. I do the same. We all do the same, right? For sure, for sure. Actually, what the fuck, man? How is this like? What? What are you doing, man? What are you doing? Oh. Give me 2 seconds. I mean, again. Oh. Oh, never mind. As I always say, let's just hope that any of us here in the chat, ever in our lifetime, are gonna get our products to the place where we care about scalability. Let's just all hope for that. Any of us, you, me, whoever. That's gonna imply some sort of success already, right? But getting there is a lot harder than it seems. A lot harder than it seems. Dude, like, what the fuck? What is happening here? It's like ridiculous. Like, Jesus Christ. Okay. All right, so, oh. Yeah, but that doesn't make sense. I see where you're going, Sako, for sure, right? But that actually, yeah, it kind of does make sense to some degree, but actually we can see that, yeah, what is this? This like 32. Oh my God. What the fuck is this? All right, so it's fine now, right? I mean, that's pretty huge as well. But let's do like, what would be the 6? 6 is like 24, right? Yeah, okay. And let's then, yeah. And let me just fix one thing in the API quickly. Actually, Sullivan, you're absolutely right. Let's do that right away, right? Let's do that right away. Where was that? That's like, yeah. And that we're gonna, the idea was that we kind of round this up in one of the next streams, right? So that's why I haven't really focused, but you're absolutely right. Let's do that. So let's go to courses and dashboard, courses, components, forms, course. No, let's go to lecture. Title is required. And let's see, I believe that my components actually do. Exactly, Pepper. That's exactly my point. 100%, man. 100%. That's kind of, it's just a myth, right? It's mostly us. The biggest irony of it all is, right, is that most developers who are obsessed by those things, including myself, not preaching to the right, is like we all keep constantly talking about this scalability, but when you speak to an average developer, right, it's like, okay, but have you actually ever reached that point in your career, right? Because you're being too like, it's like, well, no, not really, right? So it's like, you know, well, you get there, right? Because we cannot. Input header props. Okay, here. Thank you very much, guys, for the follows and subs and all of that fancy stuff. Appreciate it. Input header. Let's. Haven't I had the required here before? No, that's actually quite awkward. Okay, so let's do this. Yes, and let's just do this for now and let's see. Yeah. Okay. Lecture form, yeah. Okay, very interesting. Okay, it seems all right. So let's fix that as well, because my tip tap stuff, it doesn't seem that we've actually added the input header there. So let's fix that quickly. Actually, we did. I see. I see. I see. Okay, let's fix that quickly. Where is this crap? Over here, right? Beautiful. And then let's okay, acquired. Fair enough. Cool. Oh shit, wrong place. My bad. My bad. All right, try that again. All right, good. So now we have it, right? Cool. Very good reminder. Thank you, Sullivan. Appreciate it, man. And let's just go through those fellas. Obviously, and we'll need to do a lot of those updates, but that's what it is. So no, we don't care about tips app anymore. So we updated this fella over here. Let's go to the course form as well. So what do we need? The course needs a title. Let's go to the API. Actually, course body schema. So what is required? Interesting. So all of it is required, I see. Okay, so let's go to the UI and fix that. So title is required. We actually don't need equal to true, but who cares, right? All right, cool. So let's go. Well, we can't test that right now, unfortunately, but who cares? And let's check the sections as well and add it there. So let's go to section and do the same crap pretty much, right? So smack this bad boy here. And no, that's not required. And yeah, there we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Perfect. Amazing. Beautiful. Okay, I need more water. Cool. Yeah. Now, when I think about it though, right? We could have maybe built this more intelligently, right? I could have integrated this because I have my use form hook that I wrote myself, right? So as many of you know, we barely using those third-party dependencies. And I could have technically implemented this as part of this hook, so those things are automatically added based on the schema, right? So for example, here, if we have this required, right? So we could technically generate, we could make those inputs, get that information from the schema itself, because right now it feels a bit disconnected, right? Kind of feels a bit awkward that I need to do this, right? Yeah. What do you mean, Sako? What do you mean? You mean add it to the right side of the label, or what? Interesting. 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 Well, okay. Well, one thing for certain is, and I definitely agree that yeah. So one thing for certain is that we should maybe at least at the worst case keep it after the thing, right? Then we can say ml1, and then we could kind of get rid of this thingy. I think Sako knows me too well already to know that I probably wouldn't be happy with that, because it would kind of interfere with the simplicity, and simplicity is the key, right? Is this looking great? No. Is it fine? Is it too terrible? No, right? Which means it's not completely disgusting, right? Which means it's fine, right? I think it's fine. This is how it's done on other websites, right? Exactly. Thank you very much for the master. Thank you very much for the follow, dude. I appreciate it. Let's yeah. Agreed with Char. 100% agreed. Let's leave it, right? Now, again, as I always say, and not saying this to be a smartass and to claim that I know better than every other website, but I am very cautious to not fall into trap of existing ideas. And I know most designers would disagree with me. I get that. It's just, if you want to think out of the box, then you have to give yourself permission to not be too coupled to the existing things. But I get it. It is very true that this is what people are used to. Hence, it's a safe bet, right? It's for sure a safe. Gustavo, thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate it. So that's good, right? Let's leave it like that for now. Let's leave it for now. So the only thing that, and yeah, Sullivan triggered me to do this. So now I'm just kind of, yeah, I would just like to implement this as part of my existing system, right? So let's fuck Sullivan. Fucker. Okay. Yeah. You triggered me now, man. Fucker. Okay. Yeah. All right. I have to do it. I just. Yeah. It's too hard now. Okay. So we have the schema, right? This is my custom hook that I wrote, and it utilizes AJV JSON schema, and then generates my fields, right? Actually, that's not a bad idea at all. I like that. What the fuck is this, man? Dude, what? What? What's happening, man? Where's my... Jesus Christ, man. Where's my required stuff? What? There we go. Sullivan, man. I despise you, dude. I hate you, man. Why? Why did you do this to me at 11:30, man? Bastard. Pretty much the same char. After 15 years, it still happens every day. No. No. Yeah, but we shouldn't be rendering any other form. The fuck is going on, man? Jesus Christ. Matus, good evening, buddy. Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. All right. Let's. Yeah, motherfucker. Okay. Where the hell is this crap, man? Course details. Yeah. How dare you, Sako, doubt my perfection here, dude? How dare you, man? How dare you assume that I can make a mistake? No, it is the same crap, man. $20x is the only thing I take. All right. All right, so it's true. It's true what Sako is saying, pretty much. It is true. Is it true? It's not true. No, it's not true. No. All right, but okay, jokes aside now, let's see what the hell is seriously happening. Like, this shouldn't really happen, right? Yeah, that certainly shouldn't happen. So let's figure out what it is. It's quite interesting, right? So it's here, right? It's this crap here, right? Let's debug it. Let's debug it. Lecture form, right? Yeah, is this a lecture form? Yeah, it is, right? Okay. Give me 2 seconds. Asshole. All right, cool. All right. So this crap here is called, seems, yeah. All right, cool. So wait a minute. Well, it's absolutely not cool. There's certainly not cool. I mean, definitely not cool, right? Let's take a look. Return. If no data, return. Otherwise. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Smatty, my friend, good evening. All right, and then the only suspect I can see is this bad boy here. Most likely messing something up, right? Let's see. Yeah, we have an additional render there, and that's kind of fine. It's okay, right? It's not a big deal. This guy whatsoever, this motherfucker is actually, sorry for that. That's pretty shitty word. Untransaction. This asshole here is the problem. See you soon, buddy. Jesus Christ, man. Okay. So, well, it's good. I mean, Sullivan has helped here, because in a way we can see that the implementation with tip-tab kind of sucks, right? We have this editor ref, and then we have this hook. So this hook is doing something, right? Let's see what. So we have said that we have use callback. We said this. We focus the. We set the content of the tip-tab editor, right, on update, and then we call this focus, right? Interesting. You freaking junkie, man. Freaking junkie, dude. I'll see you this Saturday, okay? Freaking junkie, man. Get rid of that poison, dude. No spine. Zero, man. Zero. Spineless. It's fine, man. It's fine. I'll make you quit it. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is, dude. Ooh, what the fuck, bro? Yeah. Let me just double test this just quickly. I think I know where this is coming from. Yeah. Yep, I see. So actually, this is not a bug. This is fine. This is actually fine, right? So we are actually good. So we're not in a bad state at all. This is actually good. I just forgot that this tip-tab, this rich text editor, is almost like an app itself. And this editor here, rich text edit, this fella over here. I thank you very much for the follow. Catopixel. So this thing has its own internal state that we handle, right? So this is actually fine. This is not a problem at all. I think, for the most part. Yeah. All right. So okay, well, that's what it is. So let's print this schema.required, right? And let's try to implement this systematically so I don't have to worry about manually setting up things to required, right? Because that's clearly error prone, right? You want to solve that somehow, right? Great. And then we're getting undefined because, well, I think if we go back to somewhere, you can see that we don't really have anything required here, right? And we should basically have it, right? So let's say here required. Yeah. So now we should actually see that as well, right? Let's refresh that again. And let's go here. And as you can see now, we're good, right? Okay, great. So that was not a bug, surprising. All right, so we have the schema required. So let's see, how did I implement? I implemented this very long ago, so I don't actually remember. Set form state value input error null. we could do this pretty easily, right? To extend this pretty easily, if you ask me. We can just do it like this. So here, what I do, I loop through all the object keys. I filter something out, and then here I have input of the name, right? So here I can just say, well, required. Exactly. Exactly. Beautiful. There we go. That's all. That's all we have to do. So easy, right? Now, what do? Super simple as well. Go here. Instead of doing this crap, right? We just say, hey. Say, hey, dot required. And then we do the same for the other parts. This is going to be a bit problematic. We'll fix that because there's no name on this guy, and we'll have to give it form state content required, right? Now we have the label, but we don't have the name. So let's say name is content. Then let's extend this fella. Hip tap. Let's go here. Say name. Fuck. Yeah, that's gonna be slightly more annoying. Yeah, this guy is gonna be slightly more painful. Let me see, where's on change? Where was I doing? Yeah, on transaction and update. So that's, yeah, it's just problematic now because I need to update. It's not really problematic. We can do that fairly simply. Just because here at the bottom somewhere, yeah, we have on transaction. Where is it? Yeah, over here. Yeah, shit. Let's not do it for this one. It's super simple, but it's just a bit extra work that I don't want to do now. So let's just leave that as is. Where was that crap? So let's just this is the only exception we're gonna have. So we just say required true. And let's see that do the others work, and there we go. They just work out of the box, right? And that's great. And let's do the same for section form. And we're good, right? So we're gonna say form state title requires. Actually, let me just put it like here or something. I don't know. Do the description required, and then we go over here. Title, description, type. Ah, shit. Okay, didn't see this crap. What the fuck? How did that get messed up? Jesus Christ. Okay. Let's get over here now. Over here. Yeah. Nice. And then lastly, here, right? Should be type. Let's see if that actually worked. Not quite. Let's see that again. Ah. No, actually, that's... Thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it. Let's say here type as well. And then let's move this fella over here. I don't know why. I just like it better there. Ah, la la la. Yeah, let's do that. Let's refresh. Yeah, that's a bit awkward. Where's the section form? Ah. But actually, description isn't required anyway. So why did I? So section description isn't required. The title is though required, right? Let's see. So that should be kind of reddish, but it's not. Why? All right, let's get over here and print the form. The form. Let's see what's happening. Yeah, so indeed we don't. What the heck, bro? Let's take a look. What? What the hell are we doing wrong? Words, let's go there. No, this should be, I guess, I presume that's fine. Let's see here. Yeah, that's actually all fine. Man, love you, dude. Seriously, dude. Like, shit, fuck yeah, man. Great, dude. Seriously, thanks. And good evening, my man. It's fine, dude. Like, I also, past 2-3 days, I've been that tired myself. So like, no, yeah. So the lecture form works, right? So here we're, well, form state title required. What am I doing wrong? So why is this guy not working is the question, right? Let's take a look at that. Kvad, thank you very much, dude. Appreciate it. Super awkward bug. Probably a bug, I presume. Let's see, form, get initial state, properties. Use form, so initial state is here, yeah. This is also fine, required. Let's take a look. Let's go over here. So we get also the good schema here, right? Schema.required. Let's take a look. George, good evening, buddy. How's life? Yeah, so I mean, all so far so good, right? So schema is fine. We compile it here, all good. Ah, wait a minute. I might know what it is. Give me a sec. Yeah. Perfect. Good to hear, man. Good to hear. I think the issue though here is, let me just close up a bunch of this garbage. I think issue here is this part, right? Let's see. Because I can see that I have that filter there in my custom hook, right? And I presume that's exactly title. No, so we have the actual data, title, description. Then we get that, we pass it down. So that's actually correct. Is this an object? It is. We pass the description and title, yes. That's fine-ish. And then we pass it down here to the use form. Yes, correct. But I can actually see that we never get to this point, right? Let me actually try one thing. So what if we don't do this? La 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 la. All right, let me try one thing. I think, yeah, one moment. So if we go over here, right? Yeah, I think that's the problem. Yeah, I think this is the problem, right? 100%, 100%, 100%. Yeah, that's the problem. Yep. %. There we go. Yep. Where can we get the image? I think I've uploaded it. Give me a second. I think I've uploaded it somewhere to Programmer Network. One moment. I don't remember. Let me just try to find it. Did I create that as part of Programmer Network or? Yeah, it's actually here. And you also have a video. I have a YouTube video I recorded in this, if you care, right? This is part of the YouTube video that I made. But if you just care about the wallpapers, you can just go to the wallpapers directory here. One of the wallpapers is the one that you're asking about. I don't know which number exactly, but I uploaded like, I don't know, 20 different wallpapers here, right? My pleasure, man. My pleasure. Enjoy it. All right, good, right? So we have implemented that tiny little change. Thanks, Carol. Yeah, it's just people were asking about it a lot, and I just instead of answering the same question every time. Okay, so now our forms actually have that required little thing, and that's great. So that's good. That's it. So that's it. Yeah, that's actually good. I like that. Nothing else to say about it. Super simple. Squid, thank you very much. The only thing that Kirill and I might do now when I look at this, right? And this is all part of a kind of core library that we've built, right? I think this can be made redundant, right? I think instead of doing this, we could simply say, I don't know, data. So input could just take something like this, right? We're not going to do this now because we then have to update a bunch of forms, but literally each input could just get a prop data. And then inside of there, just spread those properties that it has almost generically, right? Title, error, and stuff. Because those types of things could be a one-liner. Just get whatever form state title object has and internally use it, right? This would basically save us a lot of writing and make maybe easier to read, right? So we have our own custom hook. You just say, hey, the data for this input is a title, and the title itself is an object that might have an error, might have a value, and then might be required or not. Now, in the future, we might extend that functionality of the hook itself. Yeah, I think I like this. It's just, I don't feel like doing it now though, because then we have to update the every single form in the project, right? So Kirill, if you have a moment, if you're still there, just make a task right now that we can do what I just said. I think that would be useful. Then using our inputs becomes even easier, right? Amazing. Thank you very much, dude. Thank you very much. Okay, good. So that's good. That's great. That's not bad at all. It's not disgusting at all, I think. Yeah, I don't think it is. Yeah, I don't think it is at all, actually. Cool. Okay. Well, you know what, guys? Let's maybe round it up for tonight. I have 4 days off, so I will be streaming every day next 4 days. So come around. I think I'm gonna go and chill out a bit. I think my wife is back from work, and I want to see her if she didn't go to bed already. And yeah, let's just do what I just said. Let's just round up. And yeah. Great discussions, Kirill. Good to see you. Always happy to see you around, man. You inspire me as well. So thank you for the work that you're doing now. Looking forward to see those changes. I have no doubts they're gonna be great. And yeah, thank you very much, Car, Spectra, all of you, George, and Sako, Sullivan, bunch of you who've been active tonight. I appreciate that. It makes me coming back to those streams. With that said, I'm gonna go chill out a bit, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Keep an eye on Discord. I might stream during the day, during the night. I don't actually know yet. I don't know where I end up with my family tomorrow, but we'll see. Yeah, have a great day, have a great night, enjoy yourselves, and stay well, and I'll see you folks tomorrow. Peace out, have a great one. Bye. Cheers. Bye-bye.